Black America, it's time to wake up. There's something very sinister going on right under our noses, and we're too busy being entertained to even figure it out. Are y'all ready to talk about this? Because this is a very serious topic. Let's juice.
Come on, Blaze.
It's the beef for me.
Wah, 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 for your guy, for your B-O-Y. Drop it for your guy, for your B-O-Y. Do it for your guy, for your B-O-Y. Come on, baby, we are.
So I have a very serious question about this illegal migrant situation. Why don't they ship them to like places like Alaska or Ohio? Don't Alaska pay to come and live there? Like, I'm confused to why they want to ship them to already overpopulated urban communities. If you did all that to cross the border to get in the country illegally, surely I feel like you have no problem with 22 hours worth of sunlight and a little bit of cold. And this is a serious question, and I really want some serious feedback. I'm trying to understand.
What's up, y'all? I came on here to talk to you guys about what's really going on in America, and there's a very dire state of emergency that's happening. I know everybody's all into the election and who to vote for and who not to vote for, and I am by no means endorsing any candidate. I will not be voting at this election, nor have I voted at an election since Barack Obama's first term. So I'm gonna leave the voting up to you guys, but I want you guys to pivot just for a second. Earlier this year, Black Americans was facing a huge issue, and it was called the migrant crisis. Black Americans were forced to foot the bill for illegal immigrants, or as they call them now, migrants. And basically, our schools were shut down. Our taxes increased dramatically, and a lot of people were suffering, like myself, from inflation of all prices as it pertains to the grocery stores and everything, gas prices and everything in between. Now, I think a lot of us lost sight of that because of this upcoming election where we're actually being taunted by circus antics such as Megan Thee Stallion twerking for Kamala, or twerking for votes as I call it. And basically we're being shown to our faces what the nation of so-called America actually thinks of us. And they basically see us as the circus act that you see here on the screen. Now, if you are a Meg Thee Stallion fan, this is bigger than Meg Thee Stallion, but since she was the one used, we're gonna go with that. But please do not get in my comments insulting me for a woman who doesn't even know you're alive. The fact of the matter is, I've been telling you guys for a long time, these celebrities have jobs, and their jobs are to keep you distracted while all the horrible things go on behind the scenes. And just like Meg Thee Stallion, other celebrities have been tapped on the shoulder to basically keep us all in a loop of confusion, to keep our minds off what's really happening. Now, the reason they use these celebrities is because they know they have cult-like fan bases who will do whatever their faves tell them to do because they enjoy their music, their talent, or whatever it is that they have to offer. But ultimately, I put this clip in because Meg Thee Stallion and her hotties and the people who are sympathizers of Meg have really just completely forgot why we're here in the first place and what's actually going on in society. So what I wanted to do was bring this video to you and show you guys what we need to be focused on, because this is bigger than an election. The election is going to decide how we are as a people and who we are as a people, because we are basically being pushed out by migrants. This isn't by chance. This isn't anything that's just a coincidence. The people are flooding out Black America, foundational Black America, as I call Acorn. We're basically being pushed out of our homes, our lands, through gentrification, inflation, and all those other things that are affecting us now. And because we are emotionally driven in 2024 as a whole, it seems as if people can just flash anything in front of us, such as a woman who has been extremely clear on how she feels about Black America in the past and how she's treated Black Americans when asked the tough questions. You guys, take a look at this video clip right here.
President of this country, is it Joe Manchin or Joe Biden, Madam Vice President?
Come on, Charlemagne.
Come
on. It's Joe Biden.
I can't tell sometimes.
No. It's Joe Biden. It's Joe Biden. And don't start talking like a Republican about asking whether or not he's president. It's Joe Biden.
Do you think Joe Manchin is a problem?
It's Joe Biden. And I'm vice president, and my name is Kamala Harris. We had over 200 years of slavery. We had Jim Crow for almost a century. we had legalized discrimination, segregation, and now we have segregation and discrimination that is not legal but still exists and is a barrier to progress. We have disparities around housing. We have disparities around education. We have disparities around income. And we have to recognize that everybody did not start out on an equal footing in this country. And in particular, Black people have not. And so we have got to recognize that and do something about that and give folks a lift up. That's why, for example, I'm proposing the LIFT Act. Give people who are making $100,000 or less as a family a tax credit, which will benefit and uplift 60% of Black families who are in poverty.
So by default, it affects Black families, but there's not a particular policy for African Americans that you would explore.
But no, if you look at the reality of who will benefit from certain policies, when you take into account that they're not starting at the same place and they're not starting on equal footing, it will directly benefit Black children, Black families, Black homeowners, because the disparities are so significant. So if we focus on the specific issues that have resulted in the greatest disparities, and we understand that that's part of why we're doing it. Listen, the reality also is this: any policy that will benefit Black people will benefit all of society. Let's be clear about that. Let's really be clear about that. So I'm not going to sit here and say I'm going to do something that's only going to benefit Black people. No, because whatever benefits that Black family will benefit that community and society as a whole and the country.
So as you can see, Kamala Harris and the Democratic Party has been very vocal on how they feel about so-called Black America. Basically, they do not care. And what they're doing in the meantime is flooding our countries with a whole bunch of illegal immigrants, or as they call them, migrants today. And we are suffering and we are being pushed out of our homes. We are being pushed out of our lands. And they are using these people to replace us for the vote. Now, a lot of people don't see this because they're so busy sympathizing with their favorite celebrity, or they are thoroughly entertained. But I want to show you guys a video showing you what's actually happening under your nose, because basically how it works is the illegal immigrants are not only getting all of the things that we need, such as resources, food, housing, healthcare, they're also getting the vote. And these people are let here illegally just to come in and take your resources and mine as well and vote for the Democratic Party. I want to show you this video of some guys that were going around to the illegal immigrants and asking them if they're registered to vote. This video will shock you. Take a look.
We come from a company that is dedicated to registering Hispanic people so they can vote in upcoming elections. Are you already registered? We already voted. You already voted? Yes. Are you a citizen or?
No.
Have you already been registered or?
Yeah.
Are you a citizen or?
No.
Have you already been registered at work? Yes, we have. You've already been registered? Are you a citizen or not a citizen?
No es.
The apartment complex Elliott Norcross in Norcross, Georgia, is occupied primarily by non-citizens. We visited the complex to ask residents two questions. Are you a citizen, and are you registered to vote? Shockingly, 14% of respondents admitted to being non-citizens registered to vote.
Buenas, disculpe por molestar. Venimos con una organización que se dedica a registrar a la gente hispana para poder votar en las elecciones. ¿Ya la registraron a usted o?
Ya.
¿Ya? ¿Y fue en el trabajo o vino alguien a tocar? Ah, ok. Muchas gracias. Y oiga, ¿y usted es ciudadana o? No. ¿Ya la registraron en el trabajo o en un lado?
Bueno, sí, nos dijeron, pero
¿Ya se registró?
pues, yo creo que sí.
¿En el trabajo?
Ajá, sí.
Oh, ok. ¿Usted es ciudadana o no es ciudadana? No es. ¿Ya los han registrado en el trabajo ustedes?
Sí, ya.
Ah, ¿ya los registraron?
Ya.
Disculpe, es que no la oigo muy bien por el aire. ¿Ya los registraron?
Sí, ya.
¿Y usted es ciudadana o no es ciudadana?
No.
¿No es?
No.
venimos con una compañía que se dedica a registrar a gente hispana para poder votar en las elecciones.
Nosotros ya votamos, tío.
¿Ya votó?
Sí.
¿Usted es ciudadana o...?
No.
¿Y usted ya está registrado? ¿Se registró en el trabajo o algo así?
No. Sí,
¿Ya se registró en el trabajo? Oh, ok. Oiga, ¿y usted es ciudadana o no es ciudadana?
Bueno, tu ciudadana está en...
No. ¿De dónde viene usted?
De Honduras.
¿Usted ya la registraron en el trabajo o aquí han pasado a registrar o...?
Ya.
¿Ya? Ya. ¿Usted es ciudadana o no es ciudadana? ¿No es? ¿Son ciudadanos o...?
No.
Muchas gracias. Dios los bendiga.
Tú me estás diciendo que si somos ciudadanos, no. Somos ilegales. Pero estamos establecidos en este país y sin nosotros este país no valiera ver, ¿me entiendes? Porque somos los mejores trabajadores que puede tener Estados Unidos.
So, okay, as you can see, the illegal immigrants are already registered to vote, even though they aren't citizens. Now, a lot of people may not think this is a big deal, but the fact of the matter is this is a very dire situation for Black America, because not only are they getting all of our resources, now they are taking leaps and bounds ahead of Black America. Now, schools have already indoctrinated our children to believing that everyone deserves a fair shake, and I believe that everyone does as well, but I don't think that things should be done illegally. They should be done legally, and resources should not come from the pockets of Black America. Now, I want to get into a video of young kids on campus, and I found it quite interesting how indoctrinated a lot of our people are. You guys take a look at this video of a protest of Americans basically saying that they stand with the illegal immigrants, even though it literally goes against the best interests of Black America. Check this out.
Do you think illegal immigrants should be able to vote?
Yeah, I mean, I think if you're paying taxes and you're putting money into the economy for a country that you've lived at for over a decade, yes, I think you should have a voice in the people that are making rules on your life.
You kick us out, you better get a seat right next to us and buckle up. Because it's all of us or none of us.
Do you think illegal immigrants should be able to vote in this next election?
I do. They live in this country. They have a purpose being here, and every vote should count. Everybody should be able to have a place to speak, whether your documentation status. That shouldn't be affected because you're living in this country, so that's going to affect you whether you have documentation or not.
It's not legal for an illegal person to vote.
We know that the Constitution says only citizens can vote, and so everyone should have the opportunity to have a path to citizenship.
Why do you think they deserve those citizen rights?
Because they're human. We're all humans, and it's a basic human right. So, yeah.
So we had these protests here today, and it was all about immigration and citizens' rights. What do you think? A lot of people want to let them vote in the next election. Do you think they should be able to vote?
It should be open to interpretation. I think some people should be able to vote. I don't think you necessarily need to be a legal citizen.
I feel like everyone should have a right to vote. I mean, it's going to make an impact on who we want to be as president, as mayor, as councilor, so.
Even if they came in illegally, they should be able to vote?
Yeah. I think everybody needs a chance.
I feel like they're not really supposed to be in this. I mean, it's not like they're not supposed to be in this country. I'm not trying to say that. It's just like they're just not official.
Do you think all these folks that came across in the last few years should be able to vote in the next election?
I think that's too soon. That's totally too soon.
America's supposed to be great, so we have like all the resources and all the stuff. So if people are supposed to come here, I feel like they need us for help. So yes, they should have a right to vote. We're supposed to be the people that make everything perfect.
Who do you think immigrants should vote for in the next presidential election?
So you guys saw that, and I'll say this. The last part of the video with the young Black girls really disturbed me the most because they are just so impressionable and they don't even realize what they're saying and how this is going to negatively affect Black America in particular in the future, because people aren't directly affected now. And typically with Black America, the way it works is you have to be directly affected for you to see something's going wrong. And typically that's when it's too late. So I was really disturbed about the end of that video with those young Black girls, because a lot of our children are literally thinking like that today. Now, like I said, a lot of you may not think that this is a big deal. You might feel like, okay, well, it's just a vote. Who cares? And that is extremely problematic and terrifying for Black America in the future. And it's simply because Black America will suffer the most. And those are the facts that people don't want to talk about. Black America being the ones that will suffer the most. When the facts of the matter is, if you're not a foundational Black American, you are an immigrant to this country. And even our people are still brainwashed to not even realize we are indigenous to this land, not some so-called landmass of Africa. We're still under that spell of the transatlantic slave trade, and we need to wake up from this. Here's an alarming fact. New York City high school students forced into remote learning as 2,000 migrants sheltered in school instead. Wake up, America. Nearly 2,000 migrants being sheltered in a tent shelter in New York City are being transferred to a nearby high school where the students will have to pivot to remote learning due to the disease it is causing, sparking outrage from residents and local politicians. Now, this was something that we were going through just at the top of the year, and for some odd reason, we completely forgot about all of this. Let me give you a refresher of what was actually happening. Take a look.
The crisis at the southern border. Right now, a massive convoy of migrants is making its way through Mexico and towards the United States. Secretary of State Antony Blinken and Homeland Security Secretary Alejandro Mayorkas traveled to Mexico City today. They met with Mexico's president to discuss ways to stem the flow of migrants coming into this country. Mexico's president says he is willing to help, but wants the U.S. to address the main cause of the problem by improving relations with Venezuela and Cuba. He also wants more money for development in the region. Border security agents, aid groups, and local communities are stretched thin with a near record number of asylum seekers approaching the U.S.-Mexico border every day. Thousands of migrants, most from Central and South America, are part of the latest caravan moving through southern Mexico.
New York City Hall tonight confirming that it's opening another migrant shelter, this one in the Riverdale section of the Bronx. City Councilman Eric Donowitz says furniture is now being moved into 435 West 238th Street, which used to be a Manhattan college dorm. Dozens of neighbors holding a protest when word first spread last year of a possible shelter there. City Hall says the shelter will house and feed 95 families. The city says it's not contracted to be a permanent or long-term facility.
Of homeless and migrants living in hotels and motels. So just how much money is the state paying for lodging? Records obtained by the I-Team show the state has 17 contracts for housing, totaling more than $116 million. Those contracts are only for fiscal year 2024 and end in June.
This is something that we have been asking the administration for information on for the better part of a year, and have been stonewalled on the information. So I think for you to get it, I think it's really important.
In some cases, the hotels are collecting money from the state for 3 meals a day, $16 for breakfast, $17 for lunch, and $31 for dinner. That means $64 a day per person. The state's right to shelter law requires it provide families with refrigeration and basic cooking facilities. But some of the accommodations do not have those appliances, leaving the state to contract out for food and delivery. Citing the emergency nature of the crisis, the state gave Spinelli Ravioli Manufacturing Company in East Boston a $10 million 6-month no-bid contract to provide meals and delivery services. Spinelli's tells the I-Team, as an approved state vendor, we have the ability to deliver emergency meals and mobilize quickly.
¿Tiene derecho para votar?
Que entramos ilegal, por lo menos tenemos acceso a votar.
¿Para quién se va a votar?
John Biden, que nos está ayudando a nosotros aquí.
Yo creo que la mayoría Biden.
Biden. Él es el que nos está ayudando por Biden.
Claro, Biden.
Por supuesto que por Biden.
Le gusta apoyar a los migrantes. Sí, es muy buena persona. No, Trump es otra cosa, ese es otra cosa y este es otra cosa.
So as you can see, you guys, this is what was going on at the top of the year and still is going on today. It's just being overcrowded by this election BS. But ultimately, what I do appreciate about the migrants is they're voting for their interests only. This is why they're voting for Biden, because Biden, Kamala Harris, these people are literally there for them. Whereas we as Black America, we cannot ask for anything specifically for us because we're being told to just shut up and color or don't say anything or leave it alone, or we can't just get any policies just for us, when the fact of the matter is these people are getting policies for them without an issue. But yet again, we're stuck holding the bag and praying that things gets better. Again, anybody who tells Black Americans that they shouldn't ask anything for their vote is insane. Everybody's getting something for them, and we continue to get nothing, even though we built this country. And please do not take this video or anything that I'm saying as for me saying that I'm voting for Trump, because again, I do not vote. I don't have a dog in the voting fight. I'm leaving that up to you guys. But this is more about mindset. This is more about who we are as Black America and how we're literally helping, aiding and abetting our own erasure in our country. And these are just the facts. Like I said, these migrants are voting for their interests, yet every 4 years, we vote for everybody else's except ours. And then when we ask about it, we're being told to just shut up and color. I don't know about you guys, but I'm getting sick and tired of this. Now I want to show you 2 videos. One video is of a guy who's basically saying he's sick of the migrants and the crisis that's going on and that Kamala Harris and Joe Biden need to do something. And then there's another guy who seems to say that there's nothing wrong with what's happening. You guys take a look at this.
What's going on here with the migrant crisis? What do people think about the migrants here inside Chicago?
On some real shit, I think they need to go on back where they at, Joe. We ain't got enough room for them right now.
And where should they go?
Shit, somewhere where's room for them at. Even if it's back to where they at or another little city. But Chicago too packed, man. We already got a lot going on.
What do you think about them giving them free hotels, free phones?
That's what I'm saying. They treating them better than real residents. Like, they giving them shit that they ain't give us. And we born and raised in Chicago. They come here giving them $15,000 in their name, a GN link, all type of shit. I'm damn. But you got homeless people sleeping on the street. You know, they up, but y'all bringing people in, treating them better than motherfuckers who from Chicago. I don't like that though.
What's your direct message to Mayor Johnson then?
Man, fix this. Get this shit together, bro. Help the city. Don't just be all talk. You talk that talk to get in there, live it. Stand on business.
Illegal immigrants pose no threat to the United States, okay? I don't understand why people think that people from another country with no money, no skills in a lot of cases, coming over and just living the same life that we're living is going to threaten our way of life somehow. And I get the fact that we don't know where these people are from, but I don't see a world where it makes sense to exclude people from the United States when you yourself, if you're American, are stealing the land right now. Okay, so at one point, wherever you're from, unless you're Black, okay, you decided to take the land of another indigenous people, and now you're afraid of the same exact thing happening to you.
All right, so you guys heard that, and this brother right here is so misinformed and so out of the loop. But again, he's probably indoctrinated through school, and mindsets like this is really what's wrong with our community. I'm not sure if he's FBA or not. We're just gonna go with maybe he is, but you know, in these days and time, you never freaking know. But ultimately, this is the problem. This right here is the actual problem. We have been purposely misinformed just to make the silly decisions and state the silly things that this young man is stating and really believe it and not even realize this is all going against us as Black Americans. It's really weird. So I want to pivot here. So I was watching the African Diaspora channel, and basically it's with Phil, and it was another guy who came up from LA and who was talking about the conditions over in LA. And I want to show you guys something that's really happening to all of the major cities, especially the Black ones across America. We are now being erased. We've already been going through paper genocide with the name change every 50, 60 years. And now we're literally being forced out of our homes just for illegal immigrants to come in, hate us, police us, and basically treat us like 5th, 6th, 7th class citizens. We've already had to go through this with white America, but now we're going to suffer even more. And this is strictly due to us not being intelligent enough to understand what's going on around us. And we are going to suffer now under the hands of the illegal immigrants who will be our police, our judges, our judge and jurors, and everything else. And I don't think a lot of us even really get it. honestly, the way Black America works, by the time we get it, it'll be too late. But I want to say this before we get into this clip. I am not in any way, shape, or form advocating for Trump, nor am I advocating for Joe Biden. I see that Black Americans have this thing for this Democratic plantation that we just cannot let go, and we're not even realizing that it is literally to our detriment. We are suffering under this plantation that we've been under since the 60s, and we don't even realize it because every 4 years, all they do is fearmonger with Project 2025 or fearmonger with slavery or fearmonger with Jim Crow, all those things just to keep you on this plantation. And at this point, I need us to wake up because they're taking our children. They're making it illegal for us to even interfere with them transitioning, even at the very, very young ages of elementary school all the way to high school. The law was literally just passed in California, and it will trickle down to other states. But ultimately, I need my people to wake up. There's a very serious war going on right now, and we're not even aware of it because we're so busy being entertained or stuck in fear. Now I want to let this video play, and I want you guys to listen to this brother as he speaks about what is going on in LA. And I'm pretty sure a lot of you in other cities, especially Black cities, can attest to a lot of what this brother is saying. I need us to wake up. I know a lot of us won't, but if we can just get a small fraction, maybe a third of us to wake up, I think we can make a difference. But ultimately, this is a very, very, very serious situation that a lot of us are not taking seriously. So you guys check out the clip from the African Diaspora channel. Please go check out the channel if you're interested. I follow it a lot, especially when it comes to politics. And I think this brother's perspective would literally be eye-opening to a lot of us, okay? So you guys check out this video clip, and please don't forget to like and subscribe, hit the notification bell, follow me on all platforms, and I'm interested to know what you think down in the chat. Peace.
Like Jesus, you ain't never lied. Oh my God. Yo, well, I don't know what's wrong with some of you, man. I wouldn't vote for Kamala if she ain't talking about reparations, she couldn't get my vote. I could care less.
So basically, you thinking about the couch?
The couch it is. What's Kamala's policy? Where's everybody talking about Kamala this and ain't nobody said nothing about her policy?
We on Policy Watch, brother. We're watching her website every day, looking for policy so we could talk about it.
Phil, I seen you when you brought it up. I watch you faithfully, man. I know if I'm gonna want the truth, I'm coming to you. I don't care about what other people talking about. I know if I want the truth, you gonna spill the beans. You gonna tell us the real. It's just funny. Some of us just not ready for the truth.
Bro, you know what I can't stand, bro? I'm gonna be honest. When I see a brother or sister got gray in their beard or gray in their hair, and they talking a certain way, I'm like the last brother, I just put my head down. I'm literally asking him questions. He live in New York City, and when I told him to say, so illegal immigration isn't affecting Black Americans, and he just like
Phil,
like he looks like it don't affect him.
Is he blind? Phil, I'm in LA. I know what illegal immigration look like. They done turned everything over here where we at look like Tijuana. And they brought that anti-Blackness right with them. Everything over here is a Mexican restaurant. I'm like, how they getting all these business loans? You can't even drive down the sidewalk or walk down the sidewalk, Phil, get on a bike or anything. They got shops all up on the sidewalk, tents up, food vendors everywhere. Police ain't harassing them, ain't asking them to move, nothing. Good luck trying to get a Black business going in LA.
Brother, I've heard that. But you know what? That comes from the top. Just like when all of the migrants came over, they was doing whatever they wanted to do in these cities, and they left alone. But the moment somebody Black do something, the police are like mobbing on them. You know what I'm saying? But see, you know what? Y'all city is the one that really sparked Chicago to fight. Because a lot of them looked at y'all city and what the Democrats did in LA and how they literally have Black people have to leave that city now. It was open borders with California. They can Black people got to get all kind of permits to open a business, but when everybody else come across the border, no permits.
No, none. But see, we the only community they do that to. We can't go in other communities and open up shop and be successful in their community. They not gonna have it. But every business that probably maybe was a black business or empty warehouse or something that they somebody black maybe would have had a chance to open up and make a business out of, they give it to them every single time. I guess they didn't see that Nuri Martinez in the LA City Council video. I guess they never saw that. We out here in LA going through it with them, Phil, going through it. They have proved and shown they don't like us. And they have shown that everyone else will cape for them, give them everything they want. They get their tangibles. They get everything over us. I don't know what dude got going on in New York, but if he think that he ain't open his eyes, you can tell him, come with me and we'll take a ride down Central Avenue. That used to be the Black Mecca. It looked like TJ now. Period.
Bro, I ain't gonna lie. If you told me I had to stay in Southern California, I just had to. I'm staying in Orange County.
Yeah.
I ain't staying nowhere near LA County.
Yeah, LA look like Mexico. And like I said, and then not to top it off,
look,
Phil,
brother.
they got the Mexican gangs that are anti-black. Their whole mission is to take one of us out. It don't matter whether you a gang member or not. It don't matter whether you a civilian, a mother, a child. It's happening every day. Every time I turn around, it's one of them taking out one of us.
And where the Democrats at? Where's Gavin Newsom at?
Gavin Newsom giving them free health care.
See that, but see, how? And the thing is, I know this stuff, and people are like, why you rail against the Democrats so much? Because I see what they do to black people.
They're
literally
friends.
trying to ethnically cleanse black people out of LA.
They're not our friends. They are not our friends, Phil. They in San Francisco talking about getting rid of the homeless. They gonna jail the homeless. And who's the homeless?
Gavin Newsom. He did that. He put that executive order doing that. What I'm saying is these people are only doing what they're allowed to do. You understand? Gavin Newsom, all them black boule Democrats that y'all have up there in that assembly over there, they're allowing all that to happen to y'all, man.
Yep, they sure are. They have pretty much stretched all of South LA. Inglewood is probably 50-50. The only part of LA that they ain't took over yet is basically the Crenshaw district. That's still predominantly black, where it used to be called the Black Beverly Hills over there. You know what I mean? And that's our last stronghold, Phil. That's it. They pushing us every which way. What a lot of people don't understand is LA got a lot of cities that are predominantly, the people that come across the immigrants where there ain't no black people. But they show in our neighborhoods. They come in our neighborhoods and take over. But they got neighborhoods in LA that we ain't even allowed in.
And let's go back to you. How long you been in LA? Your whole life?
Whole life, yep.
Okay. So you can remember South Central back in the 90s and the 80s.
I was out there in it.
You was out there in it. And it wasn't like that, right?
What nothing like that.
So what year did you notice, like, man, what the hell is going on? What year?
Probably, Phil, to be honest, probably at the mid or late 90s, right before the millennium, right before all of that. When I started
seeing. So you think what, 95, 97, 98, what year?
Yep, somewhere about 95, 96, somewhere in there is when I started. No, because when I was growing up, Phil, we didn't see all these immigrants. It was black love everywhere.
Right.
All you seen was black people. That's it. It's like you couldn't see nobody else of any other race. Not that I'm racist, but I'm just saying, it was more black people everywhere. Black businesses, black car washes, black mom and pop, soul food restaurants. That's disappeared, Phil. It ain't like it was before. And them Democrats ain't speaking up for us.
Because they're anti-black, brother. They don't like us like that. But yet people want to get mad at me and say, oh, you just stomping for Trump. He ain't bite no dog on Trump, bro. Let's call it what it is. If Trump say he gonna have listen, you in LA, would you support the biggest mass deportation in American history at this point?
All day long. I'll be the first.
There you go.
Sign me up. Give me the paper so I can sign it. What I need to do.
There you go.
I want my city, Phil. I want my city back to the way it used to be, Phil.
Yeah.
The way it used, not what I see now. This ain't the LA I know. I don't know this place no more.
Man, that's sad, bro. That's so sad.
It is. Phil, one more thing. They was trying to sell the mall. We got a mall out here called the Baldwin Hills Mall. The black bidders was trying to get it and they wouldn't let them get it. They sold it. They had some Russian bidders. They let the Russian people get it. And it's in our black community, which is the Crenshaw district. That was ours, Phil, but we can't own anything in our community. You give it away to anybody else but black people. All done under leadership of Democrats, the people with the D in front of their name. It's the
you have to understand, y'all, if y'all want, some of the, especially these callers that called in about the Democrats, if you want all of America to look like California, go ahead and put Kamala Harris up there. You will see. You will see.
Invite them, Phil, I invite them, come take a ride. Get on your plane, come see what LA look like. And I'll tell you where the parts that used to be us, it's no longer us. And the people that's there don't even want us. They don't like it. That anti-black is real, Phil. It's real.
Man, and what's that video that happened the other day, man? Like with the brother that was handcuffed and the cop punched the dude in the face. What happened with that?
Phil, that was right around the corner. That was right around the corner. The cop punched him right in the handcuffed him, punched him right in the face. And the brother didn't do nothing but ask a question.
So LA a little different. So what's the word on that?
Phil, lawsuits. That's what they talking about. Because the whole Phil, a lot of these police are now immigrants. Good luck trying to find pretty much black officers on LAPD.
Wow.
It's Latino now. And like I said, they already got the anti-black racism. You know about the gangs they got. You know what I'm saying? Those gangs still exist. They are corrupt. Phil, they have been doing brothers wrong for years. Everybody that's from LA or know about LA know exactly what I'm talking about, way the LAPD have done. And the LA sheriffs ride around like a gang. They ride around unmarked cars, nothing but vests on, hop out on you in a minute, lay you down, pull guns on you. They do this. This ain't nothing new to us. And this is supposed to be, LA is supposed to be us. This was where black people ran from the South back in the day to come. My grandma came from Galveston, Texas, straight to LA to make a life. That's why half my family was in LA. Now everybody done went back to Texas. And I might be joining.
Man, I've been hearing a lot of black people from LA either going to Vegas. A lot of them is residing in Vegas.
Mm-hmm.
Some of them, like Sister Demetria, she's from Southern California. She's here in Texas. Mm-hmm. And it's a lot of people I know from Cali that came down here, man. They like, bruh, I'm happy to be down here in the South. It's like, man, we ain't got to deal with that problem no more.
Oh, it's a problem, Phil. It don't seem like it's getting any better. It's just getting worse. That interaction with the police when they punch that brother in the mouth is just a sample of what we going through out here in Cali. So when you on Cali, Phil, and you talking about how California is, you 100% keeping it right, Phil. These people need to listen.
Let me tell you something. I went to Disney with my little girl and everything last year or whatever. When I got to LA, it didn't feel the same.
It ain't.
And I say, and something told me, I'm glad I stayed in Anaheim, be honest with you. I was more cool down there in Anaheim. But LA just didn't, I'm like, man, look, I told my daughter, everything. I said, look, we'll drive to LA, we do something, we're going to come right back out. Because it just, I don't know, man, it just didn't feel the same. Because the first time I went to LA was around, man, let me think, hold on. I mean, just first time in my life was like 2000, maybe, 2000, maybe 2010. The first time I ever been out there. And I really enjoyed myself when I went out there in 2010. But when I went back, I'm like, I like, what's going on here? And it got that crazy. And I think another time I went back in 2018 for Politicon. But from 2018 to that other year I went, the last year, I mean, it's like our people are just suffering. I mean, a lot of our people I saw out there with mental health issues. I'm like, what is going on?
Still can't nobody
walking from the car that was driving out there, and that lady just cussed me out. I mean, she was going crazy, cussing me out, and I'm like, I'm at the red light. What you cussing me for? I never seen so many people with mental health issues like that.
Yep, it's a lot of them. And then on top of it, like I said, they make it harder to live in LA. They trying to gentrify everything. The rent is sky high. It's ridiculous to live out here.
Man.
Man. And then you got the immigrants right NK on the wall. We all know what that means.
Yeah.
In our neighborhoods that our grandmothers, great grandmothers, aunts live in. Houses that we can't get, they offering to them. They giving them loans to get the house that You know what I'm saying? We had Pookie and Ray Ray go to jail and grandmama pass while they in prison. Then the house go to them. They come buy up the house and then they buy up the neighborhood and another and another and another because they make it harder for us to get that. So that's another way they pushing us out our neighborhoods, Phil. They keeping us from access to things, all under Democrats. And they don't care. They fine with that.
Yeah, but people, but you know, the other guy I want to say, I sound like a Republican because I want to defend my people from that. Trust me, if ICE and all that come sweep through LA, you be like, man, I'm so happy.
I'll be jumping for joy, Phil. No, you don't sound like no Republican. You sound like somebody with some damn sense.
And as always, Wakanda forever.
Mr. Carroll, how you give the voodoo doll time to talk? I don't get no fucking time to talk.
Who the voodoo doll is?
The nigga you just had up here.